the Black Anglo-Saxon, your favorite neighborhood political scientist. Welcome to another episode of From the Hood to the Hill. Today, we're going to be talking about democratic leadership and their failure to understand the very moment in which we are in and how and why they created the very problem that they are complaining about as it relates to the Democratic Socialists of America sweeping the nation right now on the cusp of this Mamdani endorsement win, making him effectively a kingmaker in the making. But I want to just go ahead and say and get it out the way that I need everybody to be intellectually mature and I please, because I really want y'all to understand that y'all are to blame for this. And you only have yourself to look at and reflect on because it's an atrocity that you created because of opportunities that you passed up on as leaders because you all wanted to suck the farts out of people's butt. So let's start off here with the Hill. Letitia James fought Mamdani for blowing up the Democratic Party. New York Attorney General Letitia James expressed frustration with New York City Mayor for endorsing a group of Democratic Socialists for statewide races following his victory. And she said some of the candidates that he has supported are individuals who do not understand the politics of New York City, the cultural differences from district to district, and who have not been a part of the history and struggle of these districts and are relatively new to the body politics. The New York Attorney General says some of Mamdani-backed candidates don't understand the issues of race and class. We're going to touch on that. And Mamdani's influence in New York elections was present in the state and congressional primaries. Claire Valdez, in addition to 2 state senates and 4 assembly race victories, I ain't even going to butcher their name. James said that other political colleagues have expressed that they are disappointed in Mamdani's push to change the party. All of us are a little frustrated with the Democratic Party, but you don't blow it up. That's what MAGA has done, Letitia told CNN. Some fear that Mamdani's endorsements may shift relationships with Democratic lawmakers in Congress, local investors, and other key leaders in New York. However, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries brushed aside concerns tied to the Democratic Socialist mayor on Wednesday. Donald Trump has a working relationship with the mayor of the city, and he's made it publicly and explicitly clear to America not once but twice, Jeffrey said to reporters. President Trump and Mamdani met in the White House February and November. To the surprise of socialist critics, they were photographed shaking hands and smiling. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to this point that she brought up about, one, him blowing up the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party needs to be blown up because for too long, you all don't understand that you are supposed to be the opposition to what you all call the threat to democracy, what you all call, and you reframe it because you call the Democratic Party the Democratic Party because you try to make it seem like you are of the democratic process and of the democratic ethos when really you are not. And furthermore, you all, Letitia James, Jamie Harrison, Hakeem Jeffries, everybody who's up in arms, Stephen A. Smith, even though he's a fake independent, don't understand that the moment that you are in right now is direct result to you not addressing the Joe Bidens, the Bill Clintons, the Hillary Clintons, the Obamas, when it comes to maintaining the status quo. This stuff is very simple. As prices continue to go up, as gas continues to get higher, as food prices continue to go up, as the Strait of Hormuz is closed again, as Kamala Harris prances around talking to Don Lemon, still not being able to answer questions in a way that shows that she has conviction, that she wants to change what is the current status quo, you all miss it. You all don't understand that these candidates are winning because you all want to stay in an era that does not help anybody but these donors, anybody except the business class, anybody except people who are directly tied to Wall Street and corporations. And when I say the business class, I'm not really talking about small businesses here because small businesses fall within probably more so the average everyday person. So let's be again intellectually honest, intellectually mature, because I know what a lot of you all like to do. Because Jamie Harrison is on Twitter today, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read his comment because this is the flippant, nice, nasty nature that I was talking about in my last video, which is why people don't like y'all. People just don't like y'all because you all are very disrespectful. And because you use soft platitudes and aren't necessarily outright cursing people out, you think that it's appropriate. And people are seeing past your nice nastiness. Jamie Harrison says, I say this was no ill will or animosity. If you hate the Democratic Party, then please don't run for our nomination. Well, what is the Democratic Party? First, you have to define what the Democratic Party is for you to even make a statement like that, because right now, the Democratic Party is a vapid entity where people just stick their finger up and go whichever way the wind goes because y'all don't really stand for anything. You just have strong preferences because soon as money enters the situation, you all act like, I'm not going to use that word, you all act like people without values. You all act like um, people who have a madam. You act like people who have no type of conviction whatsoever. But I continue. Don't use our resources. Don't rely on our volunteers. Don't use our infrastructure. Don't ask Democrats to invest their time, money, and energy in your campaign. Focus on building a party that you actually support. Well, guess what, Mr. Jamie Harrison? I'm a Democrat. Matter of fact, I got this little card right here that says that I'm a Democrat. It's a little outdated, but it got your faves on there. And I'm going to support the party because apparently it's growing up here with the people who are being elected. And we aren't having people who fold every single step of the way to the point where Donald Trump is getting his way, even though he's a threat to democracy. But you all basically are giving him everything he wants or just basically getting out the way so that he doesn't necessarily have any friction in anything that he's wanted. Because for what it's worth, we're here in this situation because y'all want to, oh, don't blow up the party. Oh, what are you doing? Now Trump is just in here throwing everything around however which way you want. And you don't think that's a direct result of y'all doing and playing this stupid, silly game that y'all playing? Political parties aren't perfect, but they aren't built by millions of people, but they're built by millions of people who knock doors, make calls, organize meetings, and fight for the values they believe in. If you don't believe in the party, then ask its members to carry you across the finish line. You know what's the irony in that statement, that last statement? Is that he's saying it as if the people who won the races didn't do that very thing. Did they not build their own coalitions? Did they not knock doors? Did they not make calls? Did they not organize the meetings? And even though you disagree, they are fighting for the values that they believe in. Even though you feel like it may be misguided, they are fighting for the values that they believe in. But this is why people don't like y'all. This is why people don't like y'all because you're a hypocrite. And you all are you all lack self awareness so much that you don't even understand what you're saying immediately contradicts itself. Because, and let me be clear, I don't care if you're progressive, moderate, or conservative. I've worked with Democrats across the ideological spectrum. We didn't always agree, but we understood that building a stronger Democratic Party was a part of the job. Is it really now? Because last time I checked, y'all block out the left, and this is one of my critiques of the left, or not even the left, the Democratic Socialists of America. I guess what they're framing them as something that's different from the left. They're labeling them as extremists. Sounds a lot like what a MAGA person would do if you ask me, but you don't hear yourself. You're not thinking about what you're saying. You're just doing it for the grandiose and the gravitas, Mr. Harrison. I get you. You've been put up to this. If you hate the party, spend your days attacking it and have contempt for all the people who make it possible, then see above. Now, I want y'all to understand that within party politics, people attack each other all day, every single day. Do y'all remember Nancy Pelosi making what's her name? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, cry on the House floor for voting or not nay on the Iron Dome. She went down there, pressed that girl out, made her cry. Do we not remember the Democratic Party cheating against Bernie Sanders, which is why I don't respect him no more, because he's folded and didn't be walking in kowtowing behind them. And y'all don't understand why? So you treat the left like doo-doo. You treat people like doo-doo. And then you come behind it and then expect people that when they win, for them to not have anything to say after you've been and again, we see the disrespect on display. You don't even have to agree with AOC. You don't even have to agree with Ayanna Presley. You don't even have to agree with one of my faves, Miss Nina Turner. And y'all disrespected them every step of the way. And Nina Turner is not even some crazy leftist. A lot of the people I just named are not. But you all wanted to maintain the status quo so bad that you created a weather vane for the conditions that are taking place right now, because you all have literally gutted America, gutted the middle class. And I am saying, yes, you too, because you stand by and you allow it, because you all are going under the premise of, oh, we're not going to gut and blow up the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party is the party that's not perfect. Well, guess what? Y'all, y'all bastardized us. Y'all talk trash about the youth. Y'all say we not worth nothing. Y'all say we lazy. Y'all say we don't know nothing. Guess what? Now people saying, it's my turn. Fuck you. And I told y'all this was going to happen. Because when you treat people like that, that's the natural response. And then specifically for Negroes, back to Letitia James talking about they don't understand race and class, it's Black people who created and propagated Black and brown. And the reason that I say that is not because I dislike brown people, but you have to understand that you all created and opened the door for the type of politics that doesn't allow or doesn't require for people to understand race through class. Because for all of these last couple decades, everybody has been talking about it is just class. And that goes for you Negroes too. Because the Jim Claibornes, the Maxine Waters, and all of these people who've been there, they just been out the way. The CBC been out the way. Y'all ain't been doing Nathan. And then the people who are in there, because they have wanted to build coalitions, because they have wanted to get access to money, get access to these demographics, they have said, you know what? We're going to say Black and brown with everything, knowing very good and well that Black and brown is not the accurate historical representation of the relationship between people or these specific groups in this country. Latino people, Indians who are new, Caribbean people, the white immigrants, all have strove to whiteness. And I said both of them because I don't know which one is correct or not. I'm just talking. But all of those people have striven to whiteness. You all made it so that black and brown have been attached like this, even when you talk about things from a historical context. You all created a situation where there has to be no understanding of what Negroes have been through in America. Because I've heard my whole life from you political Negroes is what is it? All boats rise? No, no, because y'all create these policies that aren't means tested. You give them to everybody, and guess what? Nobody's willing to step in line and say, no, just because you brown don't mean you deserve what Negroes who in America went through. I just had the example about the baby bonds with that very thing. You gonna give it to black, brown, Asian, Caucasian, Rasian, everybody, because you and y'all, I'll say y'all, and when I say y'all, I'm talking about the status quo brigade, have created the lane for people not to have to care about Negroes in America. And y'all are Negroes. Because even though you know and understand, Ms. James, you're allowing deed theft in New York right now to the very people who in which you're talking about don't have any understanding of. Because you want in the circle, you want in the institutionals or the institutional access. You want that. So even though you may understand it, you're going to forego it. Because part of the other problem that's happening is y'all Negroes have been in places and spaces so long that y'all don't understand that y'all have, and I say this over and over again, you create skepticism every time we send a Negro in the house and you Negroes do what y'all do, you make the person after that job harder. I had that conversation and I used that example when it came to Kamala Harris. Obama made her getting into office that much harder because that Negro did the nothing. And when I say nothing, nothing relative to Negroes specifically in America. He did great stuff for America. He did great stuff for white people. He did great stuff for gays, but he didn't do anything specifically for Negroes. So now you want to use that as a bludgeon when ain't nobody ever cared about that. Y'all never forced nobody to care about that. Not even you Negroes who was getting beat up beside the head. That's why I be so frustrated, because I'm like, y'all was there. Y'all was getting hosed down. And y'all not even putting the press on nobody. But I digress. I'm going to just bring up this little here movie because I want you to understand what y'all are. Because this is what y'all are. Y'all are this.
In recent years, I've come to see that these are often the people who stand in the way of progress because they are committed only in a lukewarm manner. And every time you move to try to solve the problem, they will respond by saying, you're moving too fast, you ought to cool off, you should put on brakes. And they end up more devoted to order than to justice, and are more devoted to maintaining a sort of negative peace, which is merely the absence of tension, than gaining a positive peace, which is the presence of justice. And they can always say to you that you should wait for a more convenient season. And I've come to see that these are the people that often stand in the way because they get close enough to you to at least discuss your plans, and they become friendly enough to talk with you. You at least have dialogue with them, but they want to stand in the way of every move forward. And this has been my disappointment. I think at times it is better to have outright rejection and misunderstanding from people of ill will than to have lukewarm acceptance from people of goodwill. It is better to have absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will than to have partial understanding from people of goodwill. And this is what we're seeing every day in our struggle in the South, that many of the moderates of the white South and many of them mean well, and I shouldn't only say the South, but the moderates all over, stand in the way of progress because they refuse to understand the problem, and they live by the myth of time, failing to realize that time will not solve the problem. And there's a danger that the moderate will live by this myth, believing that if you just leave things alone and not push too much, time will solve the problem. And it has always been my contention that this is an invalid view, because it goes out with the idea that that is something in the very nature and structure of time that will miraculously solve all problems. And time really is.
So yeah, y'all are and have been the problem in stepping in the way of progress. And I need people to be able to reflect and let y'all know that you all are the reason that this is happening. People, this is a direct response to the failures and the lack of fortitude, testicular fortitude, when it comes to pushing for political forward progress, societal forward progress, under the guise of strategic cowardism. And this is what I mean, because a lot of you all regret that you didn't take the mantle. A lot of you all are looking at this situation right now and understanding that you played yourself, because you could have taken power for yourself, let alone the whole community. But I digress, and y'all go ahead. Let me know what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it, and I'll catch y'all another time.